Hi everyone, this video is going to be for Prabal Gurung's collection with MAC. This is the luxury holiday collection that MAC does every year. They have some sort of luxury collection that comes out around the holiday season. This collection is currently available at maccosmetics.com if you want to order online. If you want to wait till it's in stores, it will be available starting November 26th, and then probably it will also be eventually available through Nordstrom. As always, photos of the swatches, including the lip products applied to my lips, will be up at the website at allurabeauty.com. I will put the links to the reviews in the description box for your easy access as those reviews get published. They usually go up the day of and then the day after or a couple of days after this video gets published. As you can see, the packaging is special edition and it's very different from MAC's traditional packaging. It is all reflective gold metal packaging for these items. And the packaging is pretty weighty, so the compacts are much heavier than they usually would be. The pricing of the collection also will reflect the fact that it's a luxury collection. MAC's luxury collection is always much more expensive than any of the other collections, even the special edition collections that have increased prices for special edition packaging. So I'm just warning you now that you may be a little surprised at how much each item costs compared to what it usually does. Alright, let's get looking at the products and swatches. So the eyeshadows come in these small but heavy square compacts that are made of that gold metal, and each compact has this embossed interwoven diamonds design on the front and the names on the front also. Inside each is a duo, so 2 eyeshadow shades are included. There's also a nice mirror that is included in the compact. So there are 3 new limited edition eyeshadow duos. These cost $40 each. Here we have Satin Ochre. Here is Tear. And here is Cinder. So starting with Satin Ochre, the shade on the left is a soft, pale white gold. On the right is a coral orange. It's pretty dry in the pan. I'm going to add a second layer. Here it is with layer number 2. The shade has a matte finish. The shade on the left here has a frost finish. Next up is Tear. The shade on the left is a shimmering neutral beige, is what MAC says, but this is definitely like a pinky shade. On the right we have a mid-toned warm brown. This shade has a satin finish, and the shade on the left is a Volux Pearl finish. Next up is Cinder, which has a smoky, cool gray on the left, and a dark charcoal on the right. This shade has a matte finish. The shade on the left has a luster finish. And I'm going to add just a little more product to this to even it out and strengthen the depth of the color. Okay, so here are your 3 eyeshadow duos. It looks like the theme is to have a more shimmering shade on the left and a more, or I should say less shimmering shade, either a matte or a sort of satin finish shade on the right. And the shades on the left are better pigmented, they're smoother in formula, and the ones on the right tend to be more dry and a little bit stiff and need a little more blending and layering. Next up is the bronzing powder. You can see it's the same type of packaging as the eyeshadows, it's just in a much larger compact. So this is the bronzing powder. It retails for $70 and it's in the shade Matte Bronze. Alright, so applying with an angled powder brush, here's the first layer of matte bronze. We can see it's on the soft side in terms of pigmentation. Here I'm applying a second layer. This bronze or tanning color is a little bit gray, it looks like. Definitely not any sort of orange tone to it. And here it is with 3 layers applied. Definitely sort of on the soft side of pigmentation, although it looks like it's sort of buildable. The pan looks like it has some sheen in it, but on the skin it's pretty close to just being matte. Okay, so here is matte bronze with 1, 2, and 3 layers applied. This product is actually currently sold out at MAC Cosmetics, so we'll see if they restock it, and it may be available at Nordstrom also. Oh, and I also want to mention that under Flash, this does have some shimmer and sheen to it. So if you're going to be in direct sunlight, you might want to be aware of that. If you're considering using this as a contour, it does have a sheen. Here is the cream color base. It has the exact same packaging as the bronzing powder, and it is also $70. And the shade we have here is Coral Lumineux. Alright, here is just a straight up swatch of the color. You can see that it's this really vivid coral cream color. And if we take it and blend it out here, it's definitely got great pigmentation on the color. It leaves a matte finish on the skin. Okay, so there's an idea of the color you would get once it's blended out. Next up we have 3 new limited edition lip glosses. These are $30 each, and you can see the same beautiful type of design that's on the tubes here. Here we have Light English, Carmine Rouge, and Ultramarine Pink. So first up we have Light English. This is a soft nudie pink with slight yellow undertone. Here's Carmine Rouge. Max says this is a clean true red. I think this is much more of like a strawberry red shade. And Ultramarine Pink. This is a mid-toned violet. Okay, so here are your 3 lip gloss shades. And here are 3 new limited edition lipsticks. These are also $30 each, and they're actually the same shades as the lip glosses. So we have Light English, Carmine Rouge, and Ultramarine Pink. So again, we have Light English, which is that soft nudie pink. This one actually looks a little more dusty in tone and not as yellow with an undertone. Carmine Rouge has a really bold finish. Again, more of that strawberry red. And then Ultramarine Pink, that same mid-toned violet. Okay, here are the lipstick shades. Light English has a luster finish, Carmine Rouge is a matte, and Ultramarine Pink is a satin. Okay, so there you have MAC's Prabal Gurung collection. Of course, I think the first thing on everyone's mind is it worth the expensive price point, or at least much more expensive than MAC usually is? And honestly, that is going to mostly be about taste. If you are one who sort of collects these kinds of items or are a collector who likes to display very fancy packaging, then the packaging was pretty impressive to me. I was much more impressed once I saw it in person and held the compacts and the items by the design and the packaging than I thought I would be just from the images. So it's definitely luxury packaging. And if that means a lot to you, then maybe it will be worth it to buy these items, even though they aren't super amazing or different in quality and colors. To me, I think the bronzing powder is the least impressive part of this collection. I think it could be much smoother in texture and maybe not so sheer in pigmentation, but again, I will test it on my face in application and let you know how that performs. The most impressive item to me is actually the cream color base. I think that pop of neon coral is really exciting and really, really pretty. To me, I think that should probably be the item that's sold out on the website, not the bronzing powder, but hey, that's just my personal preference. I like the lipsticks and the lip glosses too, and I think that they are more interesting in colors because they are more vibrant, more pigmented, and more interesting than a lot of especially lip glosses that we see. So I'm glad that they're not really weak in color or really, really standard in colors either. That said, again, the $30 price point is much more expensive. Granted, it's not as expensive as, say, a NARS Audacious lipstick, which is $32. So if you kind of look at it that way, it may be particularly attractive to some people. And again, it just comes down to whether you're someone who likes the color anyway and is a fan of really pretty or special packaging, those things combined probably makes these items worth it for you. If you're someone who really doesn't care about packaging and you're looking just for color, then it will just be up to you whether you're attracted to these colors or not. And I don't think there's anything, from at least my initial impression, about the formula of the lipsticks or the lip glosses that is particularly good or disappointing. The eyeshadows to me also are not that impressive. I think that the pans contain shades on the left that are nice. They have, you know, good pigmentation and a pretty nice formula. The shades on the right are a little more difficult to work with, but if you like a softer finish, then that actually may be more attractive to you, but you also have to keep in the back of your mind that $40 price point. Alright, I hope that any of you who were thinking about maybe investing in any of the items in this collection found this video helpful to you. Keep an eye out on the final written reviews at the website. Those go up after I really thoroughly test each item. And of course, if you want to see the lip products applied to the lips. If you haven't entered the giveaway, the e.l.f. giveaway that I hosted in my What's New in Beauty for November video, please go check that out and make sure you enter to win. And subscribe to the channel because the 12 Days of Christmas giveaway is coming up for eligible subscribers. Alright, thanks for taking the time to watch. I'll see you in the next video. There are a new set of Revlon Eye Art shadows. They are on one end cream or liquid shadows that are metallic, and then on the other end they each have this glittery liner or overlay. They say that you can put them all over the lid. I find that I just like to use them in the inner corners the way that I have for this look, or along the lash line if I want a more festive pop, but they don't perform that well on the lids applied all over. They can if you're doing like a one-time festive